Hi, I'm Robert Gibson.
I'm Ricky Morton.
We're the Rock and Roll Express.
And you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Bunny Boudreaux, coming at you with the Monday Night Raw review for the week of August 18th, 2014, the fallout from this year's WWE Summerslam pay-per-view. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel for this week's Monday Night Raw review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, it's James from the Big Easy. James, how you doing?
I have a question. With Paige loving AJ and AJ loving Paige, does that mean both of them are bisexual?
Only you would come up with that kind of a question. Ladies and gentlemen, the pro wrestling lad is here. It's Squire Alfie. Alfie, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest from YouTube.com/TheDoubleZTV is the one, the only Double Z. Double Z, how you doing?
I've been better.
And ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Lance Moss of Lance Moss TV will be joining us periodically throughout this week's Monday Night Raw review. So when it comes up, we'll definitely bring him in onto the review. So let's go ahead and get started with... of course, they open up the Raw. We start to hear Daniel Bryan's music, and it was just basically something I already knew it was going to happen. Stephanie McMahon starting to have her own merchandise about the first time in, 20 years in the WWE. And one of them is a mockery of Daniel Bryan's Yes, Yes, Yes shirt. And, you know, it said, Steph, 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 Steph.
I know who you are, and I know you're a killer.
Was a bad shirt, but if Stephanie McMahon would have exhaled during that opening promo, Jane, that shirt would have been gone.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and also remember, if you buy her shirt, all the shirt proceeds go to Connor's Cure, which is good charity.
Yeah, and let's just say, and we're not saying that the shirt was a bad shirt. I'm just saying it looked, with no disrespect to Triple H, Stephanie actually looked hot in that shirt. That's all I'm saying. You know, without getting into details, if you kind of get what I'm saying. It was just basically Stephanie.
Stop while you're ahead. I mean, you're gonna have the gamer up here.
Anyway, it was Stephanie McMahon coming out to kind of brag about her win at SummerSlam. She brings out Nikki Bella, and for once, James, Nikki Bella was actually quite decent on the microphone. Nikki Bella trying to, Nikki Bella cutting a promo as to why she turned on Brie Bella, and I gotta say, whoever's been working with Nikki Bella on her promo skills has done a very good job of it.
John Cena, huh? But I agree. Is the, how she been, that character basically it helped her. Being out the heel sister, while Brie being the face sister, and the fact that it's like, oh, it's jealousy because it's all about Brie this, Brie that, and it works. I think this could be one of those good diva storylines that we're going to have in a while.
Yeah, we definitely haven't had one in quite some time in the WWE. Brie Bella came out to try to get answers from her sister, Nikki, and Nikki ends up slapping her right in the face. So it's really interesting to see where they take the storyline, because they can... Yes?
Oh, I just want to reiterate kind of what you said. I thought she did really well on the mic. Only problem is that I think she got way too carried away, and she started giving her whole massive dramatic opera, just, oh, and she did this, oh, and that, flailing her arms and walking around everywhere, showing her anger, blah, 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 blah. She went way over the top right at the end, and I was like, oh, God, stop. You were really good on Sunday. Stop.
Well, your camera picked up on a very bad area in that little part there, Alfie.
I'm also going to ask this, I'm going to add this, I'm sorry. Do you see this storyline at the end leading to one of them getting a Divas title shot?
It's very, very likely. It all depends on, like I said, where they take this storyline from here. If fans start to get like really, invested in this storyline, then one would think that they would start shooting them for the Divas Championship, because right now, who's there really to challenge Paige for the Divas Championship? I mean, there are a lot of rumors AJ Lee will be leaving, but anyway, following that, James, can you take that for 1 second? Can you follow up with the Dean Ambrose basically introducing Seth Rollins to the Ice Bucket Challenge real quick?
So basically, with Seth Rollins was interviewed by Renee Young, and basically what happened was, Seth Rollins was coming out, was basically doing his interview, bragging about, oh, I'm done with Dean Ambrose, basically because he won the Lumberjack match, and he's gonna be the future WWE World Heavyweight Champion and future of the WWE. All of a sudden, Renee Young back off, and guess what? An Ice Bucket Challenge occurred live on TV. You look around, it was Dean Ambrose introducing it. It's like, what? It's for charity. Smacks him with the bucket and just they beat up each other.
I gotta say, I thought that segment was just incredibly comical. I thought it was highly entertaining, especially Ambrose's he dunks, looks at him and goes, "What? It's for charity, dude." Oh, by the way, there's a reason I'm going to be killing Lance, and you guys are going to see it here later today on WGS-TV. I can't believe he made me do this. But speaking of Paige and Natalya, we were talking about that. Paige is up against Natalya. AJ Lee kind of returning the favor of sorts. Coming out to distract Paige, and Natalya rolls her up and gets the victory. Double Z, would you kind of say, with all these rumors about AJ Lee leaving to go start a family with CM Punk, maybe kind of gotten quashed a little bit with AJ's appearance on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, a little bit. It's really throwing everything off. I mean, I hope AJ isn't going to leave forever. I mean, I can understand her wanting to leave for a family, but this is going to really throw kind of a bit of a monkey wrench into their whatever plans that they've got for the feud a little later on down the road.
One would think. Go ahead, James.
I got an update to that rumor. Fans were asking Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, who are backstage people, and they're backstage insiders, but they say that they never heard any rumors going around in WWE about it. So
basically, we're just going to take it with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Well, up next we had the new WWE Championship belt presentation. And it's... I don't know, there have been a lot of mixed reactions to the new championship belt. It's just basically WWE introduced a brand new logo for the WWE. The Attitude Era one is gone. So we have this new, I guess we call it reality era, since Triple H coined that not too long ago. And it's just basically taking the newer version of the belt that The Rock introduced, and it's just basically the new insignia on the middle of the belt, but they've taken the word champion or champ off of the belt, and they put it, in tiny little letters, kind of making it really hard to differentiate where champion is on the actual title belt. One would think, it was about time that WWE actually went from 2 belts to 1 belt to kind of represent the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But I don't know, Double Z, I kind of have a lot of, mixed reactions when it comes to the look of the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. What was your thoughts when you saw that?
I wasn't all that surprised. We heard for a little while that it was going to happen. I'm glad that they went back to 1 belt, because instead of having people carry around 2 belts and John Cena wearing that like a necklace or something like before. But it's good just to represent with 1 title. The design, I don't really mind it that much. I mean, it looks a little bit better than when this title belt originally designed. It looked all brown and like a cake and junk.
Lance, what was your reaction when you saw the look of the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt?
Well, originally I saw the leaked photo, where it didn't even have, where you couldn't see the World Heavyweight Championship in the banner, but it looks a little less like a toy, and I like the new logo on it.
James, what about you? Your thoughts on it?
Well, when I looked at the belt at the first part, I was like, wait, where's the word champion on it? Because I'm used to like having the thing on that says champion, because I always like my belts has the word champion somewhere on it. But then when I looked on WWEshop.com, I was like, wow, it's on the bottom? Because you don't see it on TV. Yeah, you basically need a magnifying glass on TV just to look at it.
Or a still frame.
Or still frame, but I'm gonna say this: it's decent. It fits the new logo, and rest in peace this logo. But it fits. I like it. I don't care what other people say. I like it.
Alfie, what about you? Your thoughts?
Well, it's not only rest in peace to the old logo; it's rest in peace to the big gold. Unfortunately, that was one of my favourite designs of a belt, and unfortunately that's gone now. Also, just like James, I barely even recognise that it said the word champ on the bottom. So that's kind of new to me. I saw loads of tweets going around, actually. People were saying, it hasn't got champ anymore, it's just got the logo. So, like, what is it? Just like John Cena is the new WWE? There's no champion on it anymore, it's just that. But, yeah, I really don't mind it. Like, I don't have any complaints with it, to be honest. I think when you are the undisputed champion, normally there's 2 belts involved, and 2 belts looks a lot better than 1, to be honest. Like, it's more of a power thing. Like, I've got 2 instead of 1. I've got 1 more. I'm more important than your average champion. I think that's good.
That's definitely going to be a common question for you guys out here this week for WGS-TV. We want to know definitely what you guys think of the new look of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Be sure to put your answers in the comment section below. Definitely we want to hear what you guys think about the new look of the WWE Championship. And following that, of course, we have to have Paul Heyman on the microphone, kind of cutting a promo about Brock Lesnar and John Cena. And I still say this right now, when you take the main event of one of the big 4 pay-per-views of the year for WWE, of course, remember it's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, and you take that main event and you turn it into a squash match, it really takes out the relevancy of not only the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but the fact that it was supposed to be the featured bout, the main event of your big pay-per-view. But anyway, that's just besides the point. It was, they did it. It was utter garbage. That's all I can say. Paul Heyman, like I said, Brock Lesnar would not be in the spot he's in right now if it wasn't for the mic skills of Mr. Paul E. Heyman. Because Paul Heyman basically is the golden mouthpiece for one Mr. Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, it was even quite evident when they were doing the vignettes, Double Z, leading up into this match, the way Brock Lesnar, lacks in the promo skills, like, I'm going to leave John Cena in a pool of vomit, urine, and blood. How riveting, huh?
Yeah. Brock Lesnar's career would be dead without Paul Heyman doing his mic work for him, because it's just not Brock Lesnar's strong point. I mean, he looks tough and everything, but when he talks, it's like, okay, can't quite take him seriously.
I think Brock Lesnar would have half the amount of heat if it weren't for Paul Heyman and his utter genius.
It won't be easy.
Are we having some problems with Billy?
No, we're not. I forgot that my mic was muted. I do apologize about that. One thing I will say about the promo, Paul Heyman did come up with a lot of interesting things, including coming up with a little knock on John Cena's basic thugonomics gimmick, calling what Lesnar did last night basic Brockonomics. Again, that's how golden Paul Heyman is on the microphone, and how valuable he is to the Brock Lesnar gimmick, because it's something we've already reiterated. Brock Lesnar cannot cut a promo to save his life. But anyway, following that, the Intercontinental Championship on the line, the new champion, Dolph Ziggler, defending the title against the former champion, The Miz. And, I gotta say this. It was unique to say, where they're going with this, because especially what happened in the matchup. They had Dolph have his knee injured, and then one point he found himself being thrown out of the ring, and then he hung Miz out to dry with that little clothesline over the middle rope, and apparently his knee just buckled, and he couldn't get back to the ring, and got counted out. Miz wins by countout, but he does not win the Intercontinental Championship. Miz got a little pissed, started attacking Dolph. Dolph kind of countered it with the zigzag and put that to rest. So I got to say, it's been a while, Lance, since we've seen a good feud over the Intercontinental Championship, and you got two good young talents like Ziggler and The Miz, who we both know can really work for their matches, feuding over what I like to consider a very prestigious title. If they, it was something I said on my SummerSlam results video, Lance. If they would have had Ziggler drop the title back to Miz and just started making this Intercontinental Championship look like just a 24-hour transitional championship, it would really take away a lot of the relevancy of having the Intercontinental Championship in the WWE.
Oh, most definitely. I think these two guys, especially Dolph Ziggler, could bring some more of that prestige, glory back to the IC title instead of just, your run-of-the-mill mid-card title, because, well, it's one of the original two mid-card titles. You had the US and WCW, NWA, and the IC and WWF back in the day. But yeah, man, it could bring back some prominence to the IC title.
There's just
I don't
one
think
thing.
anybody brought more prestige to the title than Wade Barrett.
I got some bad news for you. He's out of action.
I know, don't rub it in my face.
Anyway, following that, one thing that really puzzles me about WWE Creative and the way, the booking process is handled in the company is, take the situation with Jack Swagger. They turned him face against Rusev. They were pushing him to look red hot, and throughout this entire feud, Swagger has done nothing but lose, even though he was gaining adulation from the crowd because of the fact that he was the real American going against the monster foreign heel in the form of Rusev. Now, would they have him continue the feud on Monday Night Raw last night? No. What did they do? They pit him against Cesaro, a guy who has been recently de-pushed in the WWE, and they had him Swagger lose to him via the neutralizer, and then they had Bo Dallas, who was always ready to #believe, James, and just said, you know what, you lost your dignity, you lost your pride, but there's only one way you can get that back, and that's to #believe. And James, like I said, I really don't understand, why are they not continuing this feud, because this feud with Rusev and Swagger really could have gone somewhere and really elevate Jack Swagger, and they had him lose to Cesaro on Raw.
Well, that it's a good thing. They could have continued on the feud. Really, is because the fact that Jack Swagger never gave up. He passed out at SummerSlam. I just don't know why they want to move him from Rusev to Dallas. But it's just weird. It's weird, really. I mean, why did they do it? I wondered it until later on in the segment, which I'm not gonna spoil. But I just felt like they could have continue on at Tonight of Champions. But I guess the fact that Rusev did beat Swagger twice already kind of ends that feud.
I think that feud is well over now. Like the thing behind it, like the whole feud between them was to show them who's the more patriotic, who's like the two battling countries, and the only way that can conclude is by having a match, and the winner proudly does whatever, like the flag match, like having the flag, blah blah blah. The winner kind of won it for Russia. Like he won it for, what more can they do? That's like the two epics finally coming together in this conclusion. I couldn't see this feud going anywhere else apart from that. It's kind of game over. He lost, fair play. Like you can't really do any more of that. Rusev won the flag match.
Alfie does have a good point. I agree with that. That's a good one.
Well, following that, we had a six-man tag action. Roman Reigns, Sheamus, and Rob Van Dam taking on Randy Orton and Ryback. So very decent six-man tag. Really can't say anything bad about it. Roman Reigns with that leaping spear to Randy Orton over the body of Rob Van Dam. I thought that was rather unique in itself. And a lot of people are actually stunned at Double Z that the finish came down to Rob Van Dam with 5-star frog splash on Curtis Axel. You have any thoughts on why do you think some of the fans today are a little bit stunned that Rob Van Dam got the finish?
I think it was just more like out of the blue. Everybody figured it would be something between Roman Reigns and Randy Orton because they got the feud. With RVD, he's not doing anything. He's just thrown out there, so it's like, okay, what's the whole purpose of that? So maybe one of the reasons why it's like had no real purpose there.
Well, definitely, like Double Z said, out of the blue. But it was good to see Rob Van Dam actually get a finish. Up next, tag team action. The tag team champions, the Usos, taking on Goldust and Stardust, who are still looking for the Cosmic Key. I don't know what to say about that. If I wanted to talk about more about that, Lance, I would need like a giant bottle of aspirin to talk about that. But it came down to Stardust pinning. It was either Jimmy or Jey Uso. It was hard to tell, but with a sunset flip pin. But again, we're about, I'm going to say, 6 weeks, 7 weeks almost into this Stardust gimmick, and I still don't understand it.
That's the point. I mean, the whole Cosmic Key, I think they get that from Jack Swagger, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
RVD's got it. It's in his back pocket. Get it.
Oh my god.
It makes him one of a kind.
Anyway.
RVD's a dealer. That'd be his line. That'd be his selling line. It's one of a kind.
Oh my god. Going on, getting away from the subject of drugs. Rusev and well, I'm feeling that I missed the match. Oh yes, definitely. I do apologize. I'm definitely missed the matchup. It was actually the opening tag match. I do apologize. It was Luke Harper and Erick Rowan taking on Big Show and Mark Henry, the team I like to dub the world's largest tag team, or aka the New Colossal Connection. Mark Henry and Big Show actually started to gel pretty well as a tag team, especially with the combo finish that they had in this match. Big Show hitting the KO punch on Erick Rowan, and he stumbled into Mark Henry with the world's strongest slam. Now, I go back to that one, which kind of leads us into the following segment from the Usos and Goldust and Stardust. It's Rusev and Lana coming out to start bragging about the flag match when Mark Henry appears. Mark Henry not too happy over the recent actions of Rusev and Lana. Let's just say, if Mark Henry is angry at you, don't talk, Lana. And then when Henry took it to Rusev with the world's strongest slam and the splash, I gotta say, Alfie, that was a huge pop that Henry got.
Yeah, like when I saw someone confronting Rusev, and because the whole Jack Swagger thing's in the past now and he's moved on, I was confused as to why it was Mark Henry. Now I think if you think of people more patriotic than waving a flag that's kind of still around, the only one you think of really is Mark Henry due to his past in the Olympics and representing his country. And I think I can see this going well. Unlike quite a few feuds, I see this one going quite well and is pretty entertaining. Not only is Rusev pretty big, he's small but he's pretty big. And you got Mark Henry, who's an absolute tank with legs. These are two massive people, and I think I like seeing a feud with two huge people. Like you've got your Undertakers and Gonzalez, and you've got your freaking Big Shows and whatever. I like seeing big people, and I think this would be pretty cool. I like the whole new tag team with Big Show as well. I think it was really awesome to see.
The main event on this week's Monday Night Raw, it was a WWE fan vote, voting for the stipulation for Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. The three options they were given was no holds barred, no disqualification. What is the difference, WWE, between those two?
Exactly.
and Falls Count Anywhere, and the fans voted for Falls Count Anywhere, and it was indeed an outrageous match of, just what we expected out of Ambrose and Rollins, and one could really say, Double Z, that this main event between the two, they kind of stole the show for Raw this week.
Absolutely. I mean, these two have pretty well done chemistry between each other. Both made it big time outside the WWE, like with Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins, in the indie promotions, Dean Ambrose in other promotions as well. These two just absolutely destroyed each other, and that finish, holy freaking crap! You could have killed Dean Ambrose with Impact.
Yeah, what Double Z is referring to is one, they did the curb. Kane came out and interfered during the match, helped Seth Rollins hit the curb stomp not only on the announce table at ringside, but they set up what looked like to be cinder blocks. I put that in quotation marks because we know it's WWE and wrestling in the spots. And the way they did it is they had Rollins do the curb stomp to Ambrose on the cinder blocks. A follow-up to the storyline, they did have Ambrose stretch it out. They showed that on WWE Fallout, but from what I've seen on WWE.com, reports are saying that Ambrose kind of left the trainer's area. The doctor was nowhere to be seen. The doctors could not find him. So you got to figure that this was tied into an angle. Now, will we see Dean Ambrose on Monday Night Raw next week? Very hard to say because there have been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation about Ambrose being used in a film for WWE Studios. So that's why they tried to kind of, quote, write him off in that facet, in that form. But, again, these are kind of like rumors and speculations. Right now you can only take them with a grain of salt. You really can't, hold them for what there is. So, with that being said, guys and gals, it is now time to go into the Facebook fan reviews, guys and gals, on from Facebook.com/WGS-TV. Whenever you send in your reviews, we will read them out loud. And first one we have up is from DS Version, and he says, well, for starters, the fans were electric, except for the last tag match. The Rollins-Ambrose rivalry will dang surpass everyone else's, in my opinion. Ryback got some fans all of a sudden, because I do believe they were in his hometown. Randy Orton reminding Ric Flair, who was there in attendance on Monday Night Raw, of being the Legend Killer. So those are Diaz Version's comments. Up next, we had Stanley, the NWA fan guy, Gallier, if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, Galliher. The only comments he has were the last match, OMG moment, and a lot of people are in agreement with that one as well. Good friend of the Facebook page, Justin Lipman, he says, I hate when they do something like the cinder blocks made of chalk thing. Makes me think of the time they had Hacksaw come out with a rubber 2x4. Took me right out of an otherwise enjoyable match. A lot of people might not agree with that assessment, Justin, but again, a lot of people are entitled to their opinions about it. And finally, the last comment comes from Cody Cole, and the only thing he had to say was Brock cheated. That's all he had to say about Monday Night Raw. Apparently, he's inferring to the fact that Brock Lesnar is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and he's not too happy over that. So, again, guys and gals, whenever you send in your reviews to Facebook.com/WGS-TV, we'll definitely read them out loud for the review. So, our thanks to Diaz Version, Stanley, the NWA fan guy, Gallier, Justin Lipman, and Cody Cole for sending in your comments. So on that note, guys and gals, it is now time to go into overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw this week being the fallout from WWE Summerslam. A lot of good continuations. We got the presentation of the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. There are a lot of fans who have, like I said earlier, a lot of mixed reactions to it. But if you're debuting a new logo on Monday Night Raw, you definitely have to debut a new championship belt. You can't have the old insignia on a championship belt when you're debuting a new logo for WWE. Well, thank you very much for that one, James. But overall, this was a very decent show. Hands down, best match is the main event. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Falls Count Anywhere. The finish was really what what Stanley, the NWA fan guy Gully, had to say. It was an OMG moment, definitely, hands down. Worst segment. I'm not sure. To be honest with you guys, I would say Stephanie McMahon coming out with her shirt, but then again, at the same time, to me, it was just like Stephanie in that shirt. She, they can milk those puppies for like 30 bowls of cereal. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And so overall, I'm gonna give Monday Night Raw a 3.5 out of 5, and we're going to go to Lance next, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Lance?
Well, overall, I give it a 4. I was thoroughly entertained. Best match, like you said, the main event. Worst match, really wasn't one. Worst segment, however, the thing between the Bellas, it just didn't draw me in. Best segment, well, Heyman. What can you say?
Definitely. Man, he is just, like I said, we said it before, he's really golden on the microphone. Let's go to James next, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. James?
Well, for me, I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5, and I should say rest in peace the big gold belt. But, all know because this is WCW belt, they're not going to use it anymore, so we're going to retire that now. Best match is the main event. I mean, yeah, the finish is like screwy with the whole center blocks, but it helped. If the rumors are true that Dean Ambrose is going to be gone for a good bit to film a movie. It's like at least a couple weeks, a month at most. And the worst match, if I have to have a worst match, it has to be the Divas match. But all the matches were good. It's just, if you had to have a worst match, it had to be the Divas. I mean, yeah, with the AJ thing and Paige.
Well, we really can't say that to him. I mean, you look at the Divas that were involved. They were actually the ones with talent in the WWE. Paige, Natalya, and AJ Lee.
Exactly, and it really helped more with Paige and AJ's storyline, really. And even though if you have like something like that, I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be as big. I think the Bellas feud's gonna be more bigger than the Divas title feud because I think that's what they got booked it as. But with AJ and Paige, they can they can even have a stipulation match at Night of Champions if they wanted to. Best segment, Paul Heyman, magic on the mic, as y'all all say. Nobody can beat him right now in WWE on the mic. Worse, I got none.
Well, I definitely got to agree with you on a lot of your assessments on that. But up next, we're going to go to Alfie, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Alfie?
Well, mine's almost going to be an exact copy. I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was pretty damn good. Best match, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. Although right, of all the things the company's done in the past, okay, they've done a lot of stupid things, this being one of them. Do they think we're stupid about how tough cinder blocks are? Are you kidding me? That broke like polystyrene or styrofoam, as you call it over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't mind it though. I thought it was pretty creative. They don't do that often. Best segment? Paul Heyman, obviously. Worst match, the Divas. And I don't have a worst segment this week because the one in my head would say Nikki Bella, but to be honest, that wouldn't put her good work on the mic for justice. But I thought she did pretty good, and I don't really want to call that the worst part. But I thought, yeah, I don't have a worst segment this week. I thought they were all good. I mean, Bray Wyatt, Paul Heyman, Nikki Bella. I thought it was good.
Hey, you want to play? Catch?
Before we get to our guest, Double Z, with his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw, just want to read a report real quick from WWE.com to follow up on the Ambrose storyline. It said, despite suffering what was deemed to be an extensive head and spine trauma after being curb stomped through a pile of cinder blocks by Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw, Dean Ambrose has not only refused treatment, but is reportedly missing after escaping WWE medical personnel altogether. Quote, as you saw during the match with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, towards the end of the match, Dean has sustained what we thought was pretty significant head and cervical spine trauma. So as a precaution, we immobilized his neck, placed him on a stretcher, and removed him from the ring area and brought him backstage, according to WWE physician Dr. Chris Aman, or Aman, as the way they have it. Dr. Aman went on to say that Ambrose's exact injuries could not be determined thanks to his refusal of treatment, and further tests are impossible at this time as WWE trainers simply cannot find the notorious unstable former United States champion. Quote, at the time of bringing him backstage, he was responsive and was refusing treatment to a local medical facility for further evaluation. He had removed the straps and surgical collar and said he refused to go, and we haven't seen him since. So, that was just to follow up on what they were doing with Dean Ambrose. And finally, guys and gals, we go to our guest of the week, Double Z from YouTube.com/TheDoubleZTV. Get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Double Z?
It's okay, boy.
This Raw, I admit, was actually pretty damn good, because, I mean, usually pay-per-views, or Raws after pay-per-views do very well. I give it at least 3.75 out of 10. Best match, obviously, Ambrose and Rollins. Like I said, they can deliver. Big time. Worst match, I don't think I have one, but if I had to choose the worst, kind of questionable booking for match, I would choose Cesaro Swagger, mainly because Swagger quickly loses, but I got a quick theory of why they might have got him to lose. That's because over the weekend they had reports that Swagger blasted WWE Divas, saying they're actually stars on that show, so that might have gotten him heat backstage, which might have caused this.
Well, yeah, he did tweet that about the Total Divas when somebody asked him about Total Divas.
Yeah, so that might have gotten him some repercussions, which might have been why he lost to Cesaro, of all people.
Yeah.
So that might be an answer. Best segment, definitely the Paul Heyman stuff. And then, worst segment, probably the opener as well. It's a little bit questionable about the whole thing with Brie, Nikki, Stephanie, but nothing really too bad with that, but that's just pretty much it.
Alright, with that being said, guys and girls, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw? We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV?
I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, some musical equipment reviews, some rants, and Billy Alfie. Have fun with that ice water, boys.
Yeah, go watch Lance's challenge. It should be on his channel. Go watch his challenge. It was pretty good.
Alfie is on
ASL Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah,
and
Alfie
I'm
is
doing
on.
mine tomorrow, and Billy will do his.
Yes,
and
and
James.
you're also
James did one as well.
James, for some reason, is not with us, as you can see, but you can always check him out right there at that link, ivlog.tv/user/fatboy504. Alfie, you're on Facebook at the Pro Wrestling Land. Got anything coming up on there?
Not on there, but I am recently getting back into the swing of WGS-TV. I am also on YouTube, Alfie Saxby on YouTube.
Please don't be bad.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, our guest this week is TheDoubleZ from YouTube.com/TheDoubleZTV. Double Z, want to tell fans about your channel?
Yeah, it's mainly been about wrestling talk for the last 2 years, talking about, you got plenty of segments to choose from. People who participate get a lot of chances for shoutouts. Even though there's a bit of a problem with my channel right now because I suspect there's a view glitch, and the network I'm partnered with has confirmed it, as I suspected, that are cutting my views down. But I'm still going to keep fighting through this, keep the channel growing after 2 years. Going to keep fighting through all that BS.
I guess you were pretty hungry too.
Keep fighting, fight the power.
Best of luck to you on that one as well, Double Z. And don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, as James is back. James, you're on the Who Dat Temple on iVlog, correct?
Yes, I am. Right now, I am busy because I am starting my high school officiating job right now. So it's gonna be it's gonna be hard for me to try to do stuff. High school football referees gotta make me go around places. But if I'm ever on iVlog, I'll be doing game shows, games, and like sports talk, wrestling talk. But if you don't see me, you can find me on the WGS-TV Facebook page and the Hardcore Wrestling Radio Facebook page.
Fans, don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if they ever decide to get up off their butts and open up the network again, like they've been telling me for the past 6 months, but apparently they don't want to answer any of my messages. So guess what, guys and gals at ZFXTV? I'm going to make these little problems that you have with messaging me, not messaging me, actually public now, because apparently you don't want to answer any of my messages. So now I'm going to make it in a public forum, let them know that you guys in ZFX do not want to get up off your butts and open up the network again. So that's on you guys. So anyway, and also don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer, guys, and don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV. With that being said, for Lance Moss, the incomparable, Lance Moss from youtube.com/Lance Moss TV, James from the Big Easy, Lord Alfie from the Pro Wrestling Lad on Facebook, and our very special guest, Double Z from youtube.com/TheDoubleZTV. I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Don't be Billy Boudreaux saying, God, I gotta take the Ice Bucket Challenge later today.
and Billy is gonna donate $9.99 to charity.
It's been great having you here.